Hello there and welcome back to another edition of the Hot Lab Classic Remastered. This time we're taking a look at the 1996 Mazdaspeed RX-7 A-Spec. The weird RX-7 in this game with the A-Spec body kit, which, depending on who you ask, either looks tremendous or horrendous. I'm just going to stick my neck out and say it looks horrendous. I hate that front end with the bug eyes. Every time I see this kit, it just reminds me of the car they bought for Wheeler Dealers, I think it was, where they end up putting tiger print or something on it. It looked stupid, and it did have this A-Spec body kit on it, although I'm sure the A-Spec models are probably quite desirable these days just because they are rare. In terms of statistics, this isn't as impressive as other RX-7s we've had go around. Front engine rear wheel drive, 500 horsepower, 1,122 kilos. RX-7s of this vintage usually hover around 530, so a little bit lower, but we'll see how it gets along. It is going to get 6 laps of the Motorsports Land track in order to set the best time it possibly can. Our current leader and our new leader after the last episode is the 1997 Mitsubishi GTO LM edition, set a time of 27.223. The RX-7 A-Spec, unlikely to beat that. Now, interestingly enough, actually, having sort of just ran the GTO, this is the other car I mentioned that had 2 LM editions, because there is the RX-7 LM edition from, I think both of them are actually from the first game, come to think of it. There's the RX-7 LM edition, and then there's the Mazdaspeed RX-7 A-Spec LM edition. So, yeah, in case you're wondering why this isn't running racing mod, because it does have racing mod available for it, is because, for me, it looks identical to the A-Spec LM edition, and I didn't really want to run 2 cars that look basically the same. There's some different colour options, but that's about where it starts and ends. 29.951 on its first flyer, so it's starting in usual FD territory. I knew I had to, so I will admit I am running 2 RX-7s pretty close together. In my defence, there's a lot of RX-7s in this game, but also I decided this is technically episode 276, so I needed a car that sort of skirts around the 276 horsepower. I needed a Japanese sports car, basically, just so I can sort of... You'll find this out, I'm a bit nerdy when it comes to references in these. If you actually look at the episode numbers half the time, I'd say half the time, some of the time, there's like a little cheeky reference in there, like, I think the Peugeot 106 was the 106 car to go round, stuff like that, just nerdy bollocks, basically. So I knew I needed a Japanese sports car to reference the gentleman's agreement, and I didn't have many, if any, so this is going around basically, because I've exhausted the car list. I could have built something exclusively for it, but to be honest with you, I wasn't thinking, so... That, and I've got a lot of cars built in my garage ready to go that haven't seen the light of day yet, so... Right, we had a bit of a slide out there. I'm going to try and get a run up on this. To be fair, 29.951 is basically where this... In fact, it's actually where it shouldn't be, because it's makes it slightly quicker than Type RB, which has more power than this. But we're going to say that the wing, which to be fair is probably the one bit of the A-Spec kit that I do like, is providing more downforce. So, I mean, in fairness, the RX-7's... The FD's sort of issue was never really a lack of power, so 500 horsepower to 531 feels basically the same, doesn't it? Because it's still, you know, a decent chunk of power, no matter which way you look at it. I don't know if this is any lighter than a normal RX-7, I'm not sure. It's a lot quicker than a normal RX-7 though, jeez. 29.586, that's now our quickest RX-7. Interesting. Maybe this should have run race mod. Yeah. That's quick. It actually, I tell you what, I drove the RB in this recording session, so I know how that drives. I actually think this drives a little bit better. I don't know if it's a case of I've driven the RB and now I'm driving this and now I'm more used to how the FDs drive, even though the FDs usually drive pretty nice anyway. But no, that was really good, actually. I'm happy because it's the weird RX-7. That last lap was pretty quick, and to be fair, that's probably about everything you can get out of it. So, yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm really happy with that, actually. 29.586 places this into 49th place. Goes in between the Ford Escort rally car and the Mitsubishi Galant. It is quicker than an R33 GTR. And those have like 4-wheel drive and more power than this, actually. It's quicker than quite a few. It's quicker than the R32 V-Spec 2, quicker than the R32 Nismo, quicker than the Roof BTR 2. Yeah, quicker than a lot of cars, to be fair. That's very, very impressive from the RX-7s. It does make me wonder when we really start running these, like the race mod ones, the ones that are on paper the quickest, how quick they're actually going to turn out to be, because that's very impressive indeed from this car. Anyways, that is it for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Join me next time when I'll be driving something completely different. Until then, farewell.
Knowing just where my hopes and dreams are going. I'll only you back. Got up in a wall that you are not part of. Eyes on the slit of your father with love.